It's fucking cold. Anyhow, yeah, it's a Saturday night. It's cold here in PA. It's 23 degrees Fahrenheit. Ugh. So I figure the only way out of the cold is to pretend it's baseball season. So we're going to continue a little bit more with Action PC Baseball 2025, which just dropped what yesterday? Yeah, what did it say? Saturday. So yesterday, dropped yesterday. Um, Boy, it looks great. It was a really, really nice upgrade to the chalkboard. You might have to do some fiddling about with it. Hey, yeah, it's fucking cold here too, lad, says David Michelando. How are you, lad? Are you after freezing to death? So am I. It's a bit of gobshite, it is. All right, so David Lando, welcome in. So people reporting on the Action PC forums, they've got to fiddle a bit with the video chalkboard speed. I'm finding that to be the case too. Hey, there's Philip Reynolds coming in, and he's cold as well. All right. Hopefully it's warm wherever you are. Maybe somebody's watching us from Ecuador or something like that. But anyhow, so yeah, it's there's still it's not perfect, but boys, it's a lot more smooth, nice quality of life. So again, check out the stream that I did last night on it, and I just feel like playing a game tonight. All right, so going to go back to the decades teams. We did a game in 1971 last night, so we're going to do the decade teams. And I think tonight we'll do the 1910s versus the 1920s. All right, so that way we can have a bit of fun. Yeah. So hey, David, 29 degrees here. It's cold enough to be a hard day's night. That counts. Absolutely. Great to see you, David. I got to do something for David here really quickly. I don't get to see you too much here, David, but still, you get one of these. So gonna just jump onto YouTube here for a second and give you some moderator status here, David, as a way to just thank you. You're the reason I do this stuff. So. All right, let's get you set up, man. So add as a moderator. There we go. It's not like you have to actually do any work or anything, David, but that's my way of saying thank you. So yeah, Philip he's all snugged up in bed. Nice. Good on you, Dave. Good on you, Philip. Oh, this is awful. So memory eternal, we lost two great baseball players. Of course, Ricky Henderson. May his memory eternal, but also I think it was a day ago or so, Rocky Colavito. So, you're welcome, David. So may the memory of those two greats be eternal, Ricky Henderson and Rocky Colavito. I found out on Facebook, and Fergie Jenkins mentioned it in a post. So it's a real shocker. I mean, Rocky Colavito, right, played way back in the day and stuff like that. So, Rocky had a good run. But, when I think of Ricky Henderson, and I think this is probably the same for virtually every baseball fan who saw Ricky play or what have you, is I think of Ricky Henderson as that amazing leadoff hitter that could, also had power, but he could steal bases like crazy and just forever young, right? So it's and here's Fergie Jenkins, right? He's older than Ricky goes first. So may those two greats, Rocky Colavito and Ricky Henderson, they're in the big diamond in the sky. David, I mentioned you're the reason I do this stuff, and it's because just a quick story, and I always besides the fact that David is a big fan of cats. Yeah, he has Tabby. I have my two cats here, Albert and Darcy, and I love when she makes on David's, she makes an appearance. But anyhow, it was back when I was back in Europe, and I don't know what it was one night, but I was looking for demos of baseball games. And so in YouTube, I just typed in baseball demos. I had no idea there was somebody out there named baseball demos. And there it was. And the game that he was showing was one that's near and dear to my heart, of course, is Diamond Mine Baseball. And I'm like, what? Wait, what? What's this guy doing here? All right, what's he doing with Diamond Mine Baseball? And it was like way back in the day, David. I don't even know when you put that broadcast up. So I started my channel late 2017 or early 2018. So I don't know. I think by then it was already up for a year or two. I have no idea. I'm like, this is really cool. And it's like, there's guys doing this stuff out here on YouTube. I got to check out more. But it was really, you're the first person I ever saw do a baseball game broadcast. It was so 2015. Wow. Yikes. So, so Philip says he's a little down. He's not sure when he's going to see his daughter, Sarah. Let's hope soon, Philip. Yeah, it's tough. I'm spending Christmas by myself. I don't have anybody close by or anything. It's not easy. So I feel you, man. I do. So let's keep our hopes up. Keep our hopes up. So, but yeah, I mean, David, it was just so cool. And then, you know, ran into our Red Sox fan, and the two Earls were out there at the time. And of course, ID Jester. And I'm like, what if I should do this? I don't know. Maybe Clinton Parks, I think, was even doing some. Now, I might have beat Clinton to the punch as far as broadcasting. But it was really cool. And here we are now in this nice community that we have. All right, so we're going to at least start with the 1920s, against the 1910s. This is a subset of the baseball history collection that was put out. This subset was in 2017. So, I mean, if you have the baseball history collection, you know, you can pretty much do anything you want. I'm hoping that Dave Cook will re-release this and update it with the 2010s decade. If he doesn't do it soon, I'm going to do it and say, Dave, here, I did it. So, I mean, because here we are, it's 2024. Let's not forget about those teams. There's a lot of teams, a lot of people want to play. Cubs fans certainly want to play in the 2010s, and you know, with the put their, you know, because there's going to be Cubs players on that squad. So let's do this. I love this. I love this product. I mean, I've got pretty much everything for this game, but I keep returning to this one, and I just love it to bits. All right. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Hey, there's Ken Castro. There's Clee Baseball Fan 879. So got to watch a really good game. No spoilers. I'm on Dwayne Martz's channel earlier this evening. Dwayne Martz's YouTube channel. No spoilers. It's a good one. And the best way to say is you get your money's worth. So, David, yeah, you do. So the chalkboard looks better. It's the first upgrade in this chalkboard in 15 years. They've also added some quality of life improvements and some kind of big things I'll show you in the roster screen, which is really, really cool for managing players, looking at usage and stuff like that. Yes, to me, this is worth the upgrade. And I think what's going on right now for a limited time is that Dave Cook is offering, because you could do it as a pre-order, but I think he still has it, that if you order the game right now, you can get there's a product coming out on December 31st, which is a $25 product, but it's called Baseball's Top 1001 Individual Seasons. So 1001 players, their best seasons, that do with what you want again. And it's free if you order the game. I don't know how long that's going on, so you might want to check DK Sports. Now, if you do, you'll see that it'll say out of stock. It just hasn't been released yet. But jump on it. But yes, I think it's worth it, David. I buy the game every year anyhow, because you know, I'm mostly a digital player. So this one, Out of the Park Baseball, I buy them every year anyhow. These two specifically, I buy every year. But yeah, I like it. This is pretty major upgrade this year. All right, let's get into it, and we can show David a few things here. All right, so what you'll notice here, David, even before I'm setting lineups or anything like that, these two new tabs right here. So let's look at pitchers. So you can, so these things that you see up here, okay, these are based really on manager preferences. So I haven't done anything with the managers in here. So whatever managers are set up in this product as default, it's defined these. So I like this as an educational thing. If I'm playing against a team, and I mentioned last night, I think the 1963 White Sox. I don't know a lot about the 1963 White Sox. I really, really don't. So if I'm playing against them or whatever, I can look here and learn a bit more. I'm like, okay, you know, here you get their you get their starting rotation. So looking here, I mean, you know, you got Ed Walsh is going to be your number one starter. Walter Johnson, number two. I mean, this is a scary, scary rotation. Grover Cleveland Alexander at number three, what have you. Now, again, you can see all that stuff. Like you can see your rotation over here on the rotation tab. But what I like is it will do it situationally too, who you would want to use as your closer. Okay. So we can see Walter Johnson can come in as a closer for 3 innings. You know, Irv Lang can serve as a spot starter. He can also be a closer. All right. George McQuillan, right? When we go over here, who could be your setup man? Well, this again goes by against what kind of lineup. And then who's going to be your mop-up guy, whatever. This is going to be when you would ideally start thinking about pulling them in terms of like earned runs and stuff like that. So, again, these guys, the dead ball guys, are going to have higher numbers than if we were doing a later decade. But if they're relievers, all the way up and down here is at 3. But then you also have, when would you pull them for a pinch hitter? Again, we're playing with, this is a dead ball decade, so that's why you're seeing later innings numbers on this. And then, but you would pull guys like, you know, Alexander, Johnson, and Walsh. If they're getting blown out, certainly, then there you go. So I like that. Same sort of thing here with batters here. You get DH ratings, stuff like that. You get pinch hitting rules. When would you bring them in? Things like that. When would you use a pinch runner? When do you pull them? How about late defense? So pulling for a pinch runner. So some guys you're not going to pull. Stuffy McGinnis, crazy fast. Ray Schalk for a catcher, fast. Red Smith was fast. So you're not going to pull him, right? But like you could use Ed Konichi as a pinch runner. So you're getting a lot of information where before in Action PC Baseball, you had to go around to different tabs and look at ratings and things like that. It's all here for you. Hey, John DFW, join us along with Bernie Strom. Bernie, I don't know how I'm going to catch you on Discord. You and I are in literally 2 different time zones. Like, so I still hope you still have your Mac League so we can do our World Series. So this is really, really nice. The other things that they've added in, let me get somebody here who is a base stealer. So let's look at Ty Cobb. All right. So 2 things that they've added in here for those of us who play dead ball baseball and 19th century baseball, you know that caught stealing and ground into double plays, those weren't stats that were kept yet. Okay. Back, and you know, this would probably more apply to, like, say, sliding Billy Hamilton, Hannes Wagner, the first part of his career, what have you. But now we have it. So what the game does is intelligently, mathematically, right, figures out. I don't know exactly how this is figured, but we can see here that for Ty Cobb, yep, says 58 stolen bases in this file, but he was caught 16 times. We also see that he grounded into double play 7 times. So again, these are estimates. I don't know the exact formula that they use, but I think this is really nice. And I think allows these players to be more realistic, because before what you would just see is, 58 stolen bases, no caught stealings, and no grounded into double play. Well, Ty Cobb, Hannes Wagner, Eddie Collins, even Ricky Henderson, again, may his memory be eternal. He wasn't successful in every steal. But when you're playing back in the old days with these guys, it was just unrealistic. I mean, sure, yes, they would get caught stealing, but now there's a stat that the game can draw upon, which is really, really, really nice. There's a lot more changes. Ground balls look great now. I played a game last night after the broadcast. So now when a ball hits off the wall, it will carry them off in a tangent from the fielder. So if you guys remember before, it would kind of hit the wall and kind of fall straight down. But this it actually caroms, and the little fielder chalkboard guy, right? So if it's a fly ball to right, hits off the wall, it's gonna carom on a bit of a tangent. So there's a bit more believability to it. Ground balls, so now bounce to infielders. So when you start adding all of these things up, it's really cool. Another thing too, which is really nice that I like in this update. So as you guys know, last year baseball cards, right, kind of the new, that was like the big thing last year. Last year I think was more of an incremental update. Now, if you want to look at your roster, and you'll be able to, as the season goes on, use it as a sorting tool. So I can just look here, and you can look at your entire roster, at all your baseball cards for whatever team, and gives you a nice way. So many ways you can use this tool. As kind of comparisons or stuff if you're doing your own lineups, what have you, and everything right here. Of course, you guys already know about these. So you're seeing all their defensive ratings up here, everything like that. Also, at a glance, of course, the year they were chosen from for this particular file, or that part of their peak season, I should say, as the baseball history collection is not based on a single season, but rather the peak slice of a player's career. So again, the longer the career, the shorter the peak slice. So you get these players at their best. Very, very, very cool. You can look at both sides. So I can look at the 1920s. We're just looking at a lineup right now, but I can, if I move this around, there we go. So we look at their lineup, and let's go back. Boom. Right, and there we go. So great way to see everything at a glance. Then we can go and just look at defense. Really nice. So I love it. So that's another update to it. There's also, I think, some smaller updates going on as well, and I think it's worth it. I don't think the basic game is $44, David. So yeah. So is there a definitive place to download player photos? Yeah, no, never apologize, man. I'm going to show you right now where to get it, and I'll pull it over on the screen. It's a guy named Cheech, and if you already have Out of the Park Baseball and use real photos, then you have this. But if not, you can use these photos interchangeably with Out of the Park Baseball and with Action PC Baseball. And here you go. New player photos, over 40,776. So this guy Cheech, he's a beast when it comes to doing player photos. I'm going to pop that. Oh, well, Bernie already did it. So there you go. So that's a great place to get player photos. Also, another great website I'm going to give you, David. This is cool because you may not want everybody's photos. So there's another one here, apcsportscommunity.com, and then baseball. So I'm going to put this in here too. This one's not nice. And yeah, sports replays. So Bernie doing all kinds of hooking up here. Hey, Robert loves the new version. So that is high praise indeed. Robert played some History Maker baseball last night. And Robert, I didn't mean to broadcast at the same time you were, but I had been mentioning to people as soon as I installed the game, I was going on. I had no idea you were doing History Maker at the same time, man. So I'm hoping you're enjoying that game. David, this is the Action PC Sports community is great. So you mouse over here and just get out to this little CSS menu, go to images, and look at this. You can get just player photos just seasons. So if you don't want to download everybody, I know you tend to play a lot of later baseball. There you go. Just click and you are ready to rock. There's also ballparks in here that you can get. So let's go back to baseball again and images. Is it images? Yeah, I'm already in images. What am I thinking of about here? So there we go. There's Mark Shaw. Has ballpark images in here. There's more Negro League player photos. There's logos. You need logos. Here you go. Zeke's logo collection, which is what I use in this game right here. Download it. There's Team Cap logos if you prefer those from 1900 to 1916. If you just want logos for now, there's just the 2020 season. Painted ballparks. So these are largely the Gary Grigsby ballparks that you see one of them in the background. So you can get player photos from all the sites that Bernie's put here. And then from this one, you can additionally get player photos just for a season. You can also, if you downloaded, and I made it freely available for everybody, Strategy Baseball, I put it in the Discord. In that directory, you will see player photos that are split up by decade. So again, David, I don't know if you're in our Discord. If you're not, you ought to join, and I can repost those at repost that as a future date, or at least zip up that directory so that you have player photos. So you are all set. Yeah, do some digging, man. So Robert loves the new version of Action PC, and he says he likes History Maker Baseball. I think History Maker Baseball for me, I love. That's one of those games I love watching other people play. I think it's probably it's a great game to watch. For me, there's too many things. Is this guy a sad sack? Is this guy a semi-slugger? Decide or die? Things like that. It's a little bit too much for me. I mean, but to watch it, I love watching guys play it. I really do. I think it's fun. So I'm gonna have to go back and catch your broadcast. All right. Now that we've done that bit, let's go ahead and do a computer. Oops. Yeah, computer lineup and view opponent. Yeah, computer lineup. There we go. And then view opponent. Yep. And computer lineup. There we go. Oh, that's really cool. So that's kind of new. It's switching. It's going through the different lineups. That's kind of neat. All right, this will be a lot of fun. Let's go. All right, again, I'm using Cleveland League Park here, but I'm not using any real park factors or what have you in the sense. Everybody, even the 2000s guys, are playing in this ballpark. I just didn't feel like setting up ballparks. So anyhow, here we are. So we have two Hall of Famers locking up tonight. Epirixie versus the man who I consider the greatest pitcher in baseball history, Walter Johnson. The big train. So wind speed is 7 miles per hour out to left, and we have a light rain falling here in Cleveland. Play ball. Starting defense for the 1910s decade in left field, Sherry McGee. In center, the Gray Eagle, Tris Speaker. In right, Owen Chief Wilson. We go around the horn now. At first, Ed Kenichi. At second, the great Eddie Collins. At short, a superb shortstop, former Tiger Donnie Bush. At third, Frank Home Run Baker catching Ray Cracker Shock. And on the mound, the big train. So in this file, 29 and 14, a 1.49 earned run average, 6.3 strikeouts per 9 innings, 250 strikeouts versus 65 walks. All right, leading things off here, former center fielder and Hall of Famer for the Pittsburgh Pirates, Max Scoops Carey, so called because of his prowess in center field. All right, over here, David, down here you're going to see a pitch speed, and over here, just a real quick glance, so you don't have to jump up here. Another thing that they added, just a little improvement thing, innings and outs. And also, I don't use the play-by-play except to check if there's something that maybe I wasn't clear on. But for those of you that want a longer play-by-play, you can change this up in settings to just have a very short play-by-play or longer. So now you have more control over the play-by-play out of the box. And, of course, Steve Tate has shown that you can actually create and edit play-by-plays in this game, too. And, guys, he did actually his unboxing 3 hours before mine last night. I was still at work. So check in with the guru, Steve Tate, because he's going to show you some cool things as well. All right. Here we go. Lefty or switch hitter Max Carey stands in, batting lefty against the big train. We're ready to go here. 2-0 pitch, and Max Carey picks up the single and then tries to slide into second, and he is out. So trying to run on the Gray Eagle. So that's one of the things, the speed adjustments that are a little bit, I'm going to be, completely honest, guys. So this is something that people are talking about. So I'm going to go into video and sound, and I'm going to cut this down a little bit because what's happening is the throws are really fast. You saw the base runners going crazy. So you're going to have to fiddle with this, but I'm hoping that there will be a fix for this. Again, this is the first upgrade for the chalkboard in 15 years, so I'm going to allow him a little love here. All right, stepping in, the Rogers Hornsby. As you would expect, these teams are stacked like crazy. Johnson deals, and this one you can see it. Nice little bouncer there to second. Collins feeds it on to Kenichi for the 4-3 putout. So 2 away now, and it brings up a Hall of Famer that nobody talks about. It's Bill Terry, formerly of the New York Giants. Bats left. Johnson deals. 1-2 pitch. Fly ball shallow center. Tris Speaker has all the range in the world. Makes a great grab, and that ends the inning. And that's going to be the first of many great plays for Tris Speaker, I'm sure, as we go along. We go to the bottom of the first inning. The 1920s nothing, and the 1910s coming to bat. All right, in left field, it's Babe Ruth. In center, Max Carey. In right, Kai Kyler. From first to third, we've got Bill Terry, Rogers Hornsby, Joe Sewell, Pie Traynor. Behind the plate, Hank Severide, and on the mound, Epirixie. So there's only one non-Hall of Famer on this starting lineup, and that's Hank Severide. So stacked teams, to be sure. All right, the Gray Eagle leading things off here. Epirixie deals, 0-1 pitch. Speaker swings. Soft fly ball out into left. Babe Ruth ranges in, makes the catch. 1 up, 1 down here for Eddie Collins. Eddie Collins, one of the great base stealers of his time and of all time. Epirixie brings it home. 1-2 pitch. Collins connects. Little bounder back to the mound. Rixie up with it. Feeds it on to Bill Terry for the 1-3 putout. That's number 2. And here's Sherry McGee, who should be in the Hall of Fame. And here is the pitch. McGee, just a little number to third. Pie Traynor gets to the ball, and hey, we might have our first graphic glitch. There we go. So we're going to see what the play-by-play is. Traynor cannot make the play, so let's see. Barehands it, tosses it to Hornsby covering, high throw. So, all right, we have us an E5, and the chalkboard's still going to be a little bit wonky. What are you going to do? It does it in Out of the Park Baseball, too. And I've even seen a glitch out in MLB The Show, the display. So there you go. It's fine. All right. So McGee ends up on second, and it's an error on Pie Traynor. And here comes Ed Kenichi. Here's the pitch. 1-0. This one, just a little bouncer to short. Joe Sewell up and over to Bill Terry, and the error does not come back and bite them. So no runs, 1 hit, an error. We've played an inning here in Cleveland, and we have no score. Nothing's perfect. How about it? All right, David, sleep well. Thanks for coming in. So no, John, these are not home brews. This is from the Baseball History Collection. It's a subset that I'm hoping he will bring out. Now, John, I know you have it. So the Baseball History Collection. So we'll talk. Yeah. Time for a refund, says Sean. Welcome in, Sean. So yeah, this is a subset of the Baseball History Collection, and he's really got to do an update of this with the 2010s decade, and I hope he will, because this is a lot of fun. So yeah, unlike the State Project, which is a standalone product, this is drawn from the larger Baseball History Collection, which is itself has so many subsets to it, it's insane. All right, Babe Ruth will lead things off. You're followed by Kai Kyler and then Pie Traynor. Johnson deals, 2-0 pitch. Ruth sends this one deep to center, and Babe Ruth does what he does best. Well, that's not a home run. I don't think I set up this stadium properly. So Babe Ruth with a double. Let's have a look at this stadium here because, wow, let me see what I got here. Yeah, okay, so it's because of this high fence. One thing Action PC Baseball does not do very well, it doesn't know that I'm using this old ballpark, which had this really high fence. So occasionally you're going to see guys going up there, leaping tall buildings in a single bound. So again, something to be expected, suspend disbelief. Because unlike Out of the Park Baseball, these parks aren't geo-referenced at all. Whereas in Out of the Park Baseball, they are. So they're geo-referenced such that if a ball goes 400 feet, and in Out of the Park Baseball it says so, it's gone 400 feet to scale. But there's not there's not that georeferencing in here. So how they can actually fix this, I don't know. Because if I would move these right fielders down, or the right field markers down, then you're going to get home runs through the fence. So I don't think there's a way to actually fix that, except to not use old ballparks. But then you couldn't use Fenway. I've even seen it happen in Fenway in this game. So it's very, very rare, but it will happen. All right. So here's Kyler. And Cats and Bruins, clams and stuff. Here we go. Clams and stuff. So we know, yep. So we know who this is. Clams and stuff. He's a nefarious escutcheon. He's bucking for a wrench one more time, and he gets one. Ha! All right, here's Kyler. So he's one of these players that if you're creating an all-time greats franchise league, Kyler is especially fun because he was superb as a Pittsburgh Pirate and even more so as a Chicago Cub. So he's wearing his Pirates livery here, but he's traded from the Pirates to the Cubs and was just incredible, never missed a step. And so it's usually a toss-up. When I'm creating things like this, again, this one isn't a homebrew. When I do homebrews, I almost always put Kyler on an all-time great Cubs squad. But you're not going to go wrong with this guy either way. He's got speed, excellent contact hitter, and decent home runs. 16 home runs in this file. Walter Johnson brings it home. Babe Ruth. Oh, there's a little bump by Kyler. Johnson's going to go to third, and Baker's tag is in time. So good heads-up play there by the 1910s battery to erase the lead runner. Kyler aboard with one away now. All right, stepping in as Pie Trainer. He wants to redeem himself on the error that really didn't bite them in the arse anyhow. 1-1 pitch. Trainer swings. This one fouled on the left-hand side. So see, here's why I'd want to speed this up a little bit, but then I'm afraid of the base runners going too fast. So until there's a patch for this, looking for a kind of happy medium. A happy medium is somebody who tells you about all your ancestors with a smile on her face. So there you go. I know that was really bad, right? Once again, I mentioned at the top of the broadcast, Memory Eternal, Ricky Henderson, and Rocky Colavito. All right, Trainer back in the box now. The count 1-2 strikes. The throw over. Kyler dives back. And plenty of time. Johnson comes home. 1-2 pitch. And the throwdown. And Kyler steals the base. So it was a strike him out, but not a throw him out. So Johnson picks up the strikeout. Kyler with a stolen base. 2 away for Hall of Fame shortstop Joe Sewell. Lefty stands in against the big train. Checks Kyler at second and deals 0-1 pitch. This one to Donnie Bush, to Ed Kenichi, and that will retire the side. We go to the bottom of the second inning. We are scoreless here in Cleveland. Dwayne Martz, I was telling everybody, I didn't ruin it, but guys, subscribe if you haven't. I know 17 people watching. Dwayne Martz, YouTube network. Tonight he did a post-bats APA game using Digital Diamond as the companion. It was an excellent game. You will get your money's worth. That's all I can say. I don't want to ruin anything. All right, here is Home Run Baker now. Epirixie deals 0-1 pitch. Baker, just a little, well, actually not a little one. This one's going to go all the way to the wall. So chasing it down is Kyler, and Baker's going to go to second. So again, you can see that the chalkboard still needs a little bit of love, but not giving up on it. All right. Didn't do it this last night. So, but again, I only played an hour or 2 hours total last night. But I'm not going to keep futzing with the display. We're here to have fun. All right. Here's Donnie Bush now. Runner on second. Nobody out for the 1910s. Here's the pitch by Epirixie, and the throw down to third. Baker tries to steal, and he is caught dead to rights as Hank Severide with a quick snap down to Pie Trainer. So another caught stealing in the game. 1 down, base is empty, and they're still playing in the infield at the corners. Trainer at third, and Bill Terry at first. Looking bunt here from Donnie Bush. Here's the pitch. And this one missing down low. Donnie Bush will get the walk. So Epirixie gives up his first walk. Coming to the bat now, Chief Wilson, best known for that great season with the Pittsburgh Pirates, where he hit a bucket load, a metric ton, if you will, of triples. And it was kind of an anomalous season. And there's a cool article out there on Saber about that season with Chief Wilson and why he hit so many triples that year. So if you're a Saber member, look for the article. It's really good. All right, Rixey throws over. Donnie Bush dives back ahead of Bill Terry's tag. Rixey brings it home. Wilson swings, fly ball center field. Max Carey ranges to the right and scoops, gloves it. It's a little snow cone out there. So great play number 2. And what I tell you at the beginning of the broadcast, this guy, one of the great center fielders of his time, and I would argue of all time. Hall of Famer, deservedly so. Former Lutheran seminarian. Quit the seminary to be a baseball player. Here's Ray Cracker Schalk now, bats with 2 down. Prototypical defensive captain type catcher, not strong with a stick, but excellent defense. Rixey deals 1-0 pitch, and this one, base hit right field. Up with it is Kyler, and going to third on the play will be Donnie Bush. He's got the wheels to do it. So the 1920s trying to get something going here with 2 down in the bottom of the second inning. And here's Walter Johnson. No chance to bunt here. Is Donnie Bush fast enough to come home? Probably not. Not to steal home. Here's the pitch. Johnson swings and a miss. So Epa Rixey picking up the strikeout. We go to the top of the third inning, and we are still scoreless. And it will be Hank Severide, Epa Rixey, and Max Carey due up for the 1920s. Johnson deals 1-2 pitch. This one bounder up the first base line. Kenichi will take it to the bag himself, 3 unassisted. All right, here's Hall of Famer Epa Rixey. Johnson deals. Rixey sends this little blooper to short. Donnie Bush, ranging to his right, makes a fine catch. So 2 up, 2 down now. We're back at the top of the order, and Max Carey singled to start the game. Here's the pitch, 1-2, and Max Carey slashes this one. Oh, no, they get it right off before it hits the grass. So 3 up, 3 down. We go to the bottom of the third, still no score. Both pitchers, these Hall of Famers, doing it right, doing what they're supposed to do. Just 4 hits in this game total, 2 for each team, 1 error. All right, Tris Speaker, 0-for-1. We're back at the top of the order for the 1910s. He flied to left back in the first. Epa Rixey brings it home now. 1-2 pitch. Speaker, long fly ball or high fly ball out to right field. Babe Ruth has it in the glove. 1 away for Eddie Collins now. Grounded to the pitcher. Infield looking bunt from the speedy Eddie Collins. And Collins swinging away. Oh, Hornsby, nice stop at second to retire Eddie Collins. So Hornsby knows the speed of Eddie Collins, gets over there quickly. All right, Sherry McGee now bats in the number 3 slot. McGee last time up was safe on an error by Pie Trainer. McGee sends this over to third, and will Sewell have enough room? He does. Side retired. We go to the top of the 4th. We are still scoreless here in Cleveland. Oh, yeah, it was a lot of fun, Dwayne. It really, really was. It really was. So, again, guys, that's using the APA Cards and Dice, Master Game, and Digital Diamond Baseball as a comparison. And I know Dwayne especially, but I am also, but looking forward to the release of Digital Diamond Baseball version 13. Big things coming in that game, and that should be out sometime in March, I'm told. All right, Rogers Hornsby, the Raja, grounded to second back in the first. Walter Johnson ready to go. That easy, that deceptively easy looking delivery. You can see films of him on YouTube or the Ken Burns documentary. Deceptively easy, and the ball was just wicked. 1-1 pitch, and oh my goodness gracious, what do we have here? So it's a swing and a miss, but it's dropped. So this one gets past Ray Schalk. So that's going to be Rogers Hornsby at first. Hornsby has decent speed. And here comes Bill Terry, fly to right center. Kind of a little messy game going on. Terry bunts it, and the throw to Collins covering on the play will get Hornsby to second, 1 down. And here's Babe Ruth, had that double the last time that I thought was a home run. Here's the pitch. This time, This one cut on and missed. So Babe Ruth goes down swinging, 2 away for Kai Kyler. Kyler bunted out last time. Johnson brings it, and Walter Johnson has just whiffed his 4th. And we go to the bottom of the 4th. We are still scoreless here. Good pitcher's duel going on. Ed Kenichi, home run Baker, and Donnie Bush due up. Kenichi 0-for-1. The first baseman grounded to short back in the first. Epirixi rubs up the ball, and the lefty lets it go. Kenichi swings. Fly ball, shallow left. Babe Ruth has it in the leather. So 1 away now for home run Baker. He had a double back in the second. 0-2 pitch. Baker slashes a base hit into right field. Kyler up with it, gets it into the infield. So runner aboard, and home run Baker has some speed. There's Donnie Bush, walked back in the second. Rixey checks Baker at first, throws over. Baker back in time. As played full season replays or combination. Hey, Dan Burke, there's my favorite Irishman. There he is. Good to see you, Dan. Playing a bit more of the new released Action PC Baseball 2025. All right, Epirixi brings it home. 2-1 pitch. Donnie Bush fouls this one back of the plate. And this one's going to reach the grandstand. So Donnie Bush is going to get another chance here at Epirixi. 2-2 pitch. Bush straightens it out, but straight to Joe Sewell. Sewell to Hornsby, and they turn a great double play onto Terry. How about that? So an inning-ending double play. 4 in the books. Second grade play for Hall of Famer Joe Sewell. Go to the top of the 5th. It's zip. A little rain continuing to fall here in Cleveland, as Pie Traynor will lead things off here. Traynor struck out in the second. Guys, stick around. We'll do a little modern baseball after this if you want. Johnson deals to Traynor. Traynor swings. Routine ground ball to short. Donnie Bush backs up on the grass, but close play, and Traynor able to beat it out. They're going to call it a poor play of Donnie Bush, but I've got to disagree with the cranky scorer. He had to go deep for that ball, and Traynor has good wheels getting down the line. All right, Joe Sewell now doing some good stuff with the glove. Would like to do something real good with the bat right here and get a crooked number up there for the 1920 squad. Grounded to short back in the second. Johnson has a look at Pie Traynor at first. Brings it home. Throw down. Pie Traynor has pilfered a base. So there we go. Pie Traynor with steal number 1 of the season. Sewell back in the box. 0-1 pitch. Joe Sewell bunts. Schulk pounces on it. Fires to Eddie Collins on the wheel play. And Pie Traynor moves 90 feet away. Potential first run here for the 1920 squad, who lost their opener, lost their first game against this 1910 squad. Here's the catcher, Hank Severide, grounded to first. Johnson out of the stretch, and the 2-0 pitch. Severide, little bouncer back to the mound. Johnson will go to Kenichi for the 1-3 putout. So 2 down. Johnson 1 batter away from getting out of this little pickle. And here's Epirixi, who popped a short back in the third. Johnson brings it home. Rixey swings, and Donnie Bush gloves it, and that's the inning. It's another goose egg. We go to the bottom of the 5th, no score. Sean says, Beatles, are being a Pirates fan, do you know what Donnie Bush was tied to in terms of baseball history in your Buccos? Well, I do know 1909 World Series would be one of those things, certainly. But I'm guessing there's something else, because you're not gonna throw a hanging curveball at me like that. There's something else, I'm sure. Play something like Beatles playing here. Decades are pretty cool. Yeah, they're fun, Dan. And I've been actually thinking of doing a version of this for Baseball for Windows. You and I are big Ernie Harwell fans, so I've been thinking about doing a version of this for Baseball Windows. For Windows down the line at some point, just to see how it would play in there. At least be able to do it up to the 1990s. All right, Chief Wilson is 0-for-1. He's going to lead it off here. The 7, 8, 9 hitters do up for the 1920s. And again, good pitcher's duel. Love me a good pitcher's duel. He flied to shallow left center, Chief Wilson did last time up. Do they have that available For baseball for Windows, a decades team like this, nope. So, but I can make it, Dan. So, if I do make it, I'll get you. I'll get you a copy. I'll have to make it, but it's easy enough to do. If you have an older version of Baseball for Windows in the Fan Park Encyclopedia, super easy to do. The only difference in Baseball for Windows would be because there's not a baseball history collection. What I would have to do is base it on a player's best season, in other words, and then create it that way. But I still think it'd be a lot of fun. And pretty easy using that baseball reference, what have you, in some baseball books, or even just using these rosters and saying, okay, I'm going to be importing Epirixi. What's his best single season as a pitcher based upon probably for pitchers, I would like say ERA plus, for instance, and for hitters, probably OPS. But yeah, this would be really easy to do in Baseball for Windows, actually, once you set up your criteria. So Donnie Bush was the manager. Oh, yes, he was. Yes, he was. You got me, Sean. You're right. He was the Pirate. So Donnie Bush, 2 connections with the Pittsburgh Pirates as a Tiger player and as a Pirate manager. Thank you. Wow. So yeah, I love what if leagues too. I do. Even though I've got a couple season replays going on, 1934 on Out of the Park Go. If there's anybody here that knows how to stream from an Android tablet, let me know, because I've been wanting to show Out of the Park Go on the channel, but I have no idea how to stream from this. Robbie Wartburg, may his memory be eternal, described how to do it about 3 years ago, but I don't remember. So we have any Android gurus here, let me know in the comments or here in the chat, because Out of the Park Go is very, very a nice baseball game if you're on the go. It's a lot of fun, if you pardon the very, very bad pun. All right, here's Chief Wilson. And Wilson, high fly into shallow right field. And Kyler will make the catch. So hell of an outfield here, especially center and right with Carey and Kyler for the 1920s. All right, Ray Schalk now, the cracker, 0-for-1. And they are looking bunt here from Schalk. Rixey brings it 1-2 pitch. That's not going to happen. Strike 3 called. So Rixey bringing it in there. And now we're at Walter Johnson, 2 down, 0-for-1. The big train struck out last time. Walter Johnson was a decent hitting pitcher, by the way. 3-0 pitch. Johnson draws the walk. So Epirixi giving up his second free pass of the game. We're back at the top of the order now. And the Gray Eagle, they said that Speaker played so shallow he was almost behind second base and would run out on the ball. We'll forget about his politics and things like that for now. Great player, Tris Speaker. Still holds 2 Major League Baseball records, as you guys know. One of them you would think would have been broken. He still holds the record for the most doubles, career doubles, is Tris Speaker. The other one is he's the only player in baseball history in a single season to have 3 20 or more than 20 game hitting streaks in a season. So the only baseball player to do that, and the career leader in doubles. So, but you wouldn't think of that as a record that would have stood as long as, say, so Sam Crawford's lifetime triples. That's never going to be broken. But to think that Tris Speaker still holds that record for doubles with all the, all the power hitters that have come. And I mean, really, the double's a power hit. But I think it's 700, and somebody can check me on this, but I believe it's 795 lifetime doubles. Yeah, I miss Robbie too. And God bless him. I miss telling him, as you and I would Saber Robbie. So John just bought Out of the Park Go today. Awesome. It's fun. It is really fun. And if you want to get all the seasons from 1901 to 2023, it'll cost you an additional $20, guys. So for $29, you got a nice thing you can take with you. You play it on your phone, play it on your iPad, play it on your Android, and it plays. It's super smooth, super nice. If you play modern seasons, you get all the 30 ballparks. If you play really old seasons, it has a neat kind of just older looking baseball park. And then middle seasons has that terrible default ballpark, which I hate. But what are you going to do? It doesn't do as much as Out of the Park does, but it's a good game in its own right. Speaker swings, by the way, and easy fly ball out to Kyler and right. Side retired. We go to the top of the 6th. All right, we got to start making bank here, making book on who's going to break this open. So Max Carey, Rogers Hornsby, and Bill Terry will bat here in the top of the 6th. Johnson brings it, scoops, got a piece of it, but Schalk holds on to it. Strikeout number 5 for the big train. 792, so I was off by 3. Thank you, Tim. John says, but unfortunately found you can't play exhibition games. No, you can't. It's so Out of the Park baseball is basically for season replays and fictional leagues. That's pretty much it. But considering you get every season from 1901 to 2023 for one price, I think it's cool. You can't do what if leagues in it or anything like that. It's not meant to do that. But yeah, I wish you could play exhibitions in it, but it does a lot. And for something you can play on your phone, or again your Android or iPad or whatever, it's a hell of a good baseball game. And again, plays super, super smoothly. Okay, so someday when I figure out how to stream from an Android, I'll show you guys Out of the Park Go. All right, back to it now. Rogers Hornsby bats with 1 away. And the Raja, 0 for 2. Johnson deals. He was one of Johnson's strikeout victims. 2-1 pitch, and this one scorched up the middle, base hit. Speaker getting to the ball, and just that millisecond hesitation, and the Raja with his speed cruises into second. Close play there at second, but Hornsby now with the extra base hit. 1 away now, and Bill Terry, no slouch at the plate. But bunted out last time. But Terry has some pop in the bat. Walter Johnson deals 0-2 pitch, but not this time. Strikeout number 6. Fastball by Walter Johnson. This one just painting the black. So 2 away. And can Babe Ruth break it open here? He has a double and a strikeout. The big train deals to the Bambino. Forget it. Strike 3. So Babe Ruth gets caught looking. We go to the bottom of the 6th. We are scoreless here. Eddie Collins, Sherry McGee, and Ed Kenichi do up. Collins, 0 for 2. He's grounded out twice. Digs in. Severide with the sign. Southpaw Rixey with the delivery. 0-1 pitch. Grounder and Trainer and Sewell converge. Trainer has it, throws, and gets Eddie Collins by a quarter of a step. 1 away now, Sherry McGee, 0 in 2 tries. Popped to short his last time up. Epsy brings it, and McGee, nice little base hit, little ground ball base hit into right field. So Sherry McGee aboard, and Sherry McGee can steal bases. And we had that was kind of weird. Did you hear the narrator there? That was strange. All right. Anyhow, here's the pitch to throw over. McGee dives back. Plenty of time. Terry with a sweep tag. Kenichi swings, base hit. Right field. McGee's going to hold it second. So speed on the base paths. Let's look at Kenichi. So not quite as fast as Sherry McGee, but base hit by home run Baker, and we get a crooked number up here. All right. So Baker with a double and single. So 2 for 2 today. The only one having any real luck here against Epirixie. Baker swings. Grounder to second. Hornsby's going to go to Sewell. Sewell on the pivot back to Bill Terry. 4-6-3 double play. Side retired. We go to the top of the 7th. We got us a 0-0. So Robert says, Tim talking about this, easy to remember for Speaker. He said that easy to remember, that used to be the number of cards in a Topps baseball set. Only Tim would make that awesome connection. 660 was the number of cards in Fleer and Donruss. So I didn't know that. When I was a kid, I just collected Topps. I never collected Fleer or Donruss. But I never knew that. So was Why were they smaller? Maybe somebody give me a little education here on baseball cardology. Is when I discovered girls, I gave up my baseball cards. Stupidest move in my life, because I thought at age 13, oh, they're gonna think I'm like, because I collect baseball cards, and oh my god, I'd much rather the baseball cards than oh well. So anyhow, who cares about my failed love life and my lost baseball cards? All right, here's Kyler, nothing for two. He leads it off. Number 5, 6, 7 hitters, Kyler, Trainer, and Sewell. Kyler in the game struck out his last time up. Walter Johnson thus far has racked up 7 Ks through 6. All right, Schalk sets up. The big train deals. First pitch swinging by Kyler. Fly ball to right. Chief Wilson camps under it and gloves it for out number 1. Brings up Pie Trainer now. Pie Trainer singled on the infield his last time up. Big Train brings it. 0-1 pitch. And this a clean single over Donnie Bush into left field. And Trainer is aboard. Trainer with a stolen base in this game. And here's Joe Sewell now. Shortstop, nothing for 1. Sacrifice back in the 5th. Johnson throws over. Trainer back in plenty of time. Big Train brings it home. Sewell on the 1-0 pitch. Fly ball to center. Speaker has it. And Pie Trainer is not going to challenge that arm. So scampers back to first. 2 away. Here's Hank Severide now. He's grounded out twice. Johnson comes home. 0-2 pitch. And this one lined right to Donnie Bush at short. 7th inning stretch time. No score here in Cleveland. All right, so Tim is telling us, Clee Baseball 79, doing the Gaylord Perry project, guys. Bring your Vaseline and all the other stuff and join in the fun. He says maybe Donruss didn't do managers, team leaders, record breakers, or throwback cards. And Ken tells us that a 1952 Mickey Mantle number 311 graded 9.5 sold for $12,600. Wow. Nice. He says you could buy a lot of companionship for $12 million. I'm sorry, I misread that. Yes, you could. So if I had that and the Honus Wagner T206, you're damn right. I just read that fairly recently there was another Wagner card discovered. Not that's going to drive down the value, but apparently, I don't know if they were sent it off to being graded, but initial reports on the Wagner card was in pretty damn near pristine condition. So, but yeah, you could buy a lot of companionship. You're right, man. So, yeah, I just remember Topps always had those, the I think isn't the Mantle rookie card? I think wasn't that was a Topps card, right? I just remember just selling. Maybe that was because the corner store where I used to buy them only sold Topps. I don't think they had Fleer or Donruss in stock. So for ages and ages, I thought the Topps were the only baseball cards around. And then again, I discovered girls. So meh. All right, Donnie Bush, nothing for 1. Nothing for 1. Grounded short his last time up. Here's the delivery. Bush swings and grounded up the first base line. And this one fielded very nicely by Bill Terry. And the underhanded toss to Eperixi covering at first. 1 away. All right, Chief Wilson, nothing for 2. Good tense game here. He's flied to both left and right center. And shallow at that. 0-1 pitch. Scorched up the middle. Base hit. So as Ernie Harwell would say, Wilson got good wood there. They're charging Joe Sewell with a poor play. Again, I got to disagree. Sewell covered a lot of range, but that ball, too much velocity. All right, Ray Schalk is 1 for 2, struck out his last time up. Chief Wilson, decent speed at first. Here's the pitch, 1-1. Fly ball, routine to center field. Scoops has it for out number 2. It's Walter Johnson. Are they going to let Walter Johnson bat? They are. Johnson, full count, and that one is a call or a swing and a miss. So Johnson folding that pitch. Yep, we go to the top of the 8th. We have no score. 0-5-1 for the 1920s, 0-6-0 for the 1910s. The 1920s have stranded 5. The 1910s have stranded 6. All right, bottom of the order, swinging around to the top, Epirixi, Scoops Carey, and the Raja. Big Train ready to deal. Rixie 0 for 2. And we will have a pinch. No, we have a rain delay. Rain delay here in Cleveland. Johnson looks like he's going to be fine. We're just going to leave him in there. Johnson deals 1-2 pitch, and indeed he is. Strikeout number 8 as Rixie cuts and misses. Back at the top of the order now for Scoops Carey. So he's managed to hit off of Johnson. He's 1 for 3. But he is also one of Johnson's 8 strikeouts. Big Train comes home with it. 1-0 pitch. Carey, routine grounder. Room service bounce to Bush. Close play. Carey with great speed, but out number 2. All right, Rogers Hornsby looking to make something happen. Doubled his last time up. Digs in, says, I don't play golf. When I hit a ball, I want somebody else to go chase it. Big Train deals. 2-2 pitch. Strikeout number 9 for Walter Johnson. Having Rogers Hornsby chasing. Hornsby was hard to strike out. We go to the bottom of the 8th inning. We are scoreless. The line in Epirixi not doing it so much with strikeouts. 3 for him and 2 walks. But Epirixi has held this 1910s decade to just 6 hits. Trespeaker, nothing in 3 attempts. He has flown out all 3 times. And they are looking bunt here from the Gray Eagle as Pie Traynor and Bill Terry cheating in at 3rd and 1st, respectively. 2-0 pitch, and to no avail. Base hit, left field. Ruth fielding the grounder. Speedy Speaker aboard now for Eddie Collins. And this is a hit-and-run tandem right here, except that Collins has grounded out to positions 3, 4, and 5. Or positions 1, 4, and 5, I should say. So Traynor cheating in at 3rd. Rixie throws over. Nothing doing right now. Now in at the corners, 1-2 pitch. Collins swings, line to center, base hit. Speaker's going to 3rd. The tag by Traynor not in time. Collins will go to 2nd, and a little bobble there by Traynor, but he's able to corral the ball. No, he does not corral the ball. And Trespeaker will come in to score. A poor play after 2 good ones here by Max Carey. And it's 1-0, the 1910s. Rixie looking tired out there. Wow. So that throw gets away from Collins. A bad throw from Carey in center field. Gets away from Traynor. 1-0. What a crazy way to get a run. All right, Sherry McGee bats with nobody out, and Eddie Collins just 90 feet away. And what Sherry McGee is thinking about right now is, I want a base hit and a real RBI. Rixie deals, and Sherry McGee bouncer up the first base line. Bill Terry will take it 3 unassisted, and Eddie Collins will come in to score. 1910s now lead 2-0 here in the bottom of the 8th. When we go to the 9th for the 1920s, it's going to be the heart of the order. Bill Terry, Babe Ruth, and Kai Kyler. Yeah, it is a heck of a ball game, cousin. I think this is a fun one. All right, Rixie, I think we're going to go to the bullpen. I'm not going to wait for the computer manager at this point. So let's see what we got. I can't change the computer lineup. You son of a bitch. All right, I guess we're going to let the computer do it. If it does it, and it's not. 2-2 pitch. And now we've got Huck Betts coming in to pitch. So he's going to pitch against so Kenichi goes down on strikes. And who do we got here? We have Huck Betts. So in this file, a 3.72 earned average, 6 wins, 7 losses, 2 saves. Not a big strikeout pitcher at all. 34 strikeouts, 35 walks in 145 innings worked. Betts brings it. Baker swings. And line out to Kyler in right. Top of the ninth, last chance here. 2-0, the 1910s decade leads. Bill Terry, Babe Ruth, and Kai Kyler. All right, so Terry struck out his last time up. Big Train brings it, 0-1 pitch. Long fly ball to left. McGee back, looks up. It's off the wall. You saw it took a little bit of a weird kind of a bounce out there, which is kind of cool. It'll usually tangent this way, but that time up. So another nice little improvement. So Bill Terry picks up the extra base hit, and the tying run comes to the plate, and Babe Ruth, Walter Johnson, is at his expected pitch count now. Just 2 over it, actually. The Big Train comes home to the Bambino, 1-0 pitch. Ruth sends this to right field, and no shenanigans on this one. We have a tie game here in the top of the ninth. Babe Ruth hits his first home run of the year, and it's 2-2. Man, it looks like, well, you know what? We can go to the pen because we're managing the 1910s. All right. So let me see. Walter Johnson's day is done. Done, man. Oof. I'm not, yikes. I don't want to hit my starting. I'll tell you what we're going to do here. We're going to bring in Eddie Cicotte to pitch. Bringing in Knuckles. All right. Eddie Cicotte, who I firmly believe had not been caught in the Black Sox scandal, would have been a Hall of Famer as well on that 1919 White Sox squad. All right, great game we have here. Top of the ninth, and Babe Ruth with a 2-run homer, and we are knotted at 2. Kyler, nothing for 3. Cicotte has finished his warm-up pitches. Knuckles is ready to go. 0-2 pitch. And that one in there. Strike 3. So Cicotte will live and die by that knuckleball. Picks up the strikeout. 1 away now for former Bucko third baseman Pie Traynor. Traynor 2 for 3 in a day. 2 singles, but not the sharpest infield play today for Pie Traynor. 1-0 pitch. Traynor sends this one to left. Sherry McGee sends it into his glove. 2 down now for the shortstop Joe Sewell. Flied out his last time up. Cicotte deals. 2-1 pitch. Base hit left field. McGee up with it into Donnie Bush. Joe Sewell, what kind of speed does he have? Not a great stolen base jump. Here's Hank Severide now. 2 outs here in the top of the ninth. When we get to the 1910s, it'll be Donnie Bush, Chief Wilson, and Ray Schock. Cicotte deals 0-2 pitch. Little roller up the first base line. Ed Kenichi will take it 3 unassisted, but 2 runs on the Babe Ruth home run, 3 hits, no errors. We go to the bottom of the ninth, and we are tied at 2. As Sean says, the Big Train was sent off the rails. John enjoying the game. Everybody enjoying the game. Thanks, guys. I think Dave Cook has put out another excellent edition of Action PC Baseball 2025. All right, Donnie Bush is nothing for 2. He walked way back in the second as well. All right. And Huck Betts stays in relief. 0-2 pitch. And Huck Betts gets the strikeout. Swing and a miss there by Donnie Bush. And here comes Chief Wilson now. He's 1 for 3 with a single. 0-2 pitch. Wilson sends this one high, but not deep, to Kai Kyler and right. 2 up, 2 down. We are 1 out away from free baseball. Here's Ray Schock now. Cracker is 1 for 3. Betts deals, and Schock, 2 hopper to first. Bill Terry will win the race to the bag. We go to the top of the 10th, and we are 2-2 all around. All right, Huck Betts will lead off. Let's see if the manager is going to allow the reliever to stay in with a crazy stacked team like this. And we will see Bobby Veach, another former Tiger, forgotten Tiger, I think, come in to hit. Veach, the lefty, grounds to short to another former Tiger, and they get Veach by a half step. So one away here in the top of the 10th inning. Scoops Carey now. So Carey last time grounded to short. Cicotte deals, and Max Carey manages just to dribble her to first. Kenichi races him to the bag and loses the race. Oh, you don't want Max Carey aboard if you're the 1910s. Carey, look at that. A run 10. His stolen base jump rating is a 10. Scoops can motor, guys. All right, here's Raja. So Hornsby, rather quiet bat today, just 1 for 4, and has struck out twice in this game. Carey has a really substantial lead off of first. Cicotte glances at the runner, comes home with it. Hornsby, little ground ball to third. Baker with a long throw across the diamond, and they get Hornsby. So 2 away. Carey at second for Bill Terry. Doubled his last time up. Lefty stands in, formerly the New York Giants. Terry swings. Ground ball to Donnie Bush, ranging to his right. Plenty of time. Will fire on to Ed Kenichi at first. Bottom of the 10th. It is 2-2. Eddie Cicotte, pitcher not batting. We're taking Cicotte out. Why not the chat call it here? So we can certainly cheat here. So the best hit percentage right now would be Stuffy McGinnis. Any objections to? We can go with Stuffy McGinnis. We can go with Ty Cobb. Let's bring in Stuffy McGinnis. What do you say, chat? Yeah. See if any of the dead ball guys here, anybody has any argument against that. This was a feature added in 2023. And what I could do is, let's say that they didn't want to stay with their pitcher. They wanted to go with somebody else. I could compare any pitch or any hitter with any pitcher and vice versa. All right. So Cousin Ken is calling for Prince Howell. He has a soft spot in his heart for the Crooks, as do I. Prince Howell will come in, and let me see. We're kind of we might just leave him in the game too and take Kenichi out. Let's see. All right. Hey, Clinton Parks joining us here at the ballpark. 2-2, bottom of the 10th. Howell Chase, and they're looking bunt from Chase, and we have a new pitcher here, Jakey May, for the 1920s decade. And here we go. May deals, and Prince Howell, strike 3 called. So Jakey May picks up the strikeout. 1 away now for Tris Speaker, and we're not going to pinch hit for Speaker at all, despite the fact. I mean, he's 1 for 4, so he gets to stay in. Lefty-lefty matchup. May lets it go, 3-0 pitch, and he loses Speaker, and the tying run comes to the plate now in Eddie Collins. So nicknamed Cocky because he was not afraid to tout his own exploits, and of course Collins could back him up. At the time, as serious a contender, as serious a base stealer in his time as Ty Cobb and Hannes Wagner. Excellent defensive player, great contact hitter, great base stealer. So Cocky Collins, 1 for 4. Jakey May checks speedy Speaker at first, throws over Speaker. That wasn't even close. May deals. Oh, throw down and the pitch out, and they got Tris Speaker that time. So great play there by Hank Severide to cut down the Gray Eagle, 2 down. So again, you got to use that speed when you can. Here's Eddie Collins, because they know they're still going to get 3 more outs no matter what, if they don't walk it off. Here's the pitch to Eddie Collins, the 1-0, and the caught stealing hurts as Eddie Collins picks up the base hit. Should be runners at first and third, but instead 2 out. Runner on first now for Sherry McGee. Sherry McGee in this game is 1 for 4. Here's the pitch. Throw down, and this one will get by Rogers Hornsby into center field, and Eddie Collins picks up the stolen base, and that's going to be an E2. So third error committed by the 1920s decade. Interestingly enough, no errors by the dead ballers. All right, here's Sherry McGee, bats now with 2 down, a 1 pitch. And that's a strikeout for Jakey May to end the inning, and we need us a new pitcher. My goodness gracious. What an embarrassment of riches. Who do we have up here right now? Oh, my God, we have Babe Ruth up. So baseball wisdom says bring in a lefty here. But I don't know. Hippo Vaughn looks like, I don't want to burn him out though. Hippo Vaughn has some innings in. Hank Robinson, Doc Ayers. All right, Doc Ayers. We'll bring him in. First name I done saw in the chat. That's what we'll do. And we'll bring in Vaughn if the game continues. How Chase out of the game. All right, so Doc Ayers here. Let's look at him. So 48 walks, 78 strikeouts, a 2.82 earned run average. All right, well, we know what Babe Ruth did in this game. Double in that big home run that tied it up in the 9th. Ayers deals to the Bambino, 1-0 pitch. And Ruth goes yard. Nope, this is one of those doubles. So Babe Ruth with the double. And we have an injury to play. I'd be injured too if I went that high. Anyhow, I explained why that happens in Action PC Baseball. It doesn't know. So these guys it's supposed to be a leap. All right, we need a new right fielder. We have an injury. Wilson out of the game. And best arm on here is Ty Cobb. So I think we bring in Cobb. Yeah, that's ninja shit. How about it? All right, Ty Cobb is going to come in to play right field. We need that arm. Okay. Kyler, nothing for 4. Nobody out. Babe Ruth at second. The pitch, 1-1 to Kyler. Base hit into left field. Ruth will round third and come home. And the 1920s have the lead now. It is 3-2 in the top of the 10th. Nobody out. Speedy Kyler, at first. And Pie Trainer, 2 for 4. Here we go. Ayers throws over. Kyler back in plenty of time. Shock sets up. Ayers comes home. 1-2 pitch. And just a little bouncer down to first. Kenichi would take it to the bag himself. Kyler moves to second on the play. Here's Joe Sewell now. Sewell 1 for 3 in the ball game. Singled last time up. Ayers deals. Sewell swings. Slashes this straight up the middle. Insurance. Kyler comes in. The ball gets past Shock. And Sewell is going to make it into second. That's an E8 first error by the 1900 or the 1910s guys. So a throwing error on Tris Speaker allows Sewell to move to second, and a safer margin now as the 1920s lead this one 4-2. But what a hell of a ball game it's been. All right, Hank Severide bats now with 1 away and a runner still in scoring position. Nothing for 4 for Severide. They're going to intentionally walk him to set up the double play. Brings up Jakey May. Let's see if he gets to hit for himself. He will not. We will see one of the greatest of all feckin' time, mate. We're going to see George Sisler come in now to hit for the 1920 squad that the computer's managing. Gorgeous George swings. This one grounded pat. Oh, no, Ayers off the bump. Nice play. Throws to Kenichi. And Sisler is out number 2. First base is open. Here is Max Carey with 2 down. Here's the pitch. Carey swings. Grounder to second. Collins on to Kenichi. And that retires the side. But 2 mammoth runs on 3 hits. 1 error. We go to the bottom of the 11th inning. 4-2, the 1920s. And it's decision time. Kenichi's 1 for 4. I think we need some let me see. First, we have Alan Russell coming in to pitch. We're just having some fun here, Sean. Let's see. Who do we got here? Coming off the bench. We've got a righty. I just want to bring Sam Crawford in for the hell of it, but well, actually, Sam Crawford, Shoeless Joe Jackson's coming in, baby. Shoeless Joe Jackson. There we go. So Shoeless Joe is going to come in to hit. So it'll be Jackson, Baker, and Bush. Due up. Shoeless Joe is making his first plate appearance of the season. Russell deals, Jackson swings, fly ball, shallow center. Max Carey on his horse, tracks it down. One away. Here's home run Baker. Russell comes with it. Baker sends this one high, but right into Kyler's glove. 2 away, and it's down to Donnie Bush. We're just going to let him hit. And base hit into right field. Kyler up with it. So they're not going into that gently into that good night as Ty Cobb steps in. Cobb 0 for 4 on the season. First at bat here today. Throw over. Bush back in plenty of time. Cobb digs in, that famous split hand grip on the bat. Russell brings the 3-1 pitch. Cobb draws the walk. So Alan Russell now with 2 on, dealing his first walk. Here's Ray Schock. All right. Do we go to the pen here? So Schock 1 for 4. Let's see who we have on the bench. I said to the pen. Let's see who we have on the bench. So as far as righties go, Sam Crawford. So Sam Crawford lefty, but looking at the percentages, Sam Crawford has the best chance for a hit. But let's let the chat pick it here. Let's let the chat pick who's going to try to do this against Alan Russell. Sam Crawford, says John DFW. You got it. Wahoo, Sam Crawford. All right, here we go. So Sam Crawford was very much like the Lou, like he was like the Lou Gehrig to Ty Cobb's Babe Ruth. So much the way that Al Simmons was the Lou Gehrig to Jimmy Fox, right? So, Sam Crawford tearing it up and stuff like that, but always overshadowed by Cobb. But fearsome hitter, and as we mentioned earlier, all-time great or all-time hits leader in triples. Hannes Wagner said that had Sam Crawford played in the live ball era in Babe Ruth's time, that he may have become the home run king. So he said he hit some amazing shots. All right, what can Sam Crawford do with 2 down, 2 on? Alan Russell ready to deal, and he spins around, and Donnie Bush is not buying it. So Hornsby cheating in there, but they don't get Bush. They don't get Bush. All right, here's the pitch. 2-2 pitch. Sam Crawford. Oh, he gets rung up. Cut and a miss. The 1920s take this one from the 1910s. They do it in 11 innings. Good game for the 1920s. 4 runs, 12 hits, 3 errors. For the 1910s, 2 runs, 10 hits, 1 error. Each team now at 1-1. J.K. May gets the win. Doc Ayers gets the loss. We had no triples in this game. We had 1 home run by that scrub Babe Ruth. Let's look at pitching now. Eparixi went 7 2/3, 8 hits, 2 runs, 1 earned, walked 2, struck out 4. Betts came in, worked an inning in the third, struck out 1. J.K. May gets the win, pitched an inning, walked 1, struck out 2. Alan Russell came in and he picks up the save, walked 1 and struck out 1. For the 1910s, Walter Johnson went 8 innings, 7 hits, 2 earned runs, 1 home run, and struck out 9. Eddie Seacott worked 2 in relief and struck out 1. And then Doc Ayers gets tagged with the loss. Worked an inning, 3 hits, 2 runs, both earned, and walked 1. Your player of the game, baseball fans, is Babe Ruth. Makes sense. Makes sense. All right. So there we go. This one went a little longer than expected. So here it is. If you're ever using the baseball history collection, or any subset of it, it takes a little bit longer to refresh because it's drawing from that massive database. And some night I should really show you guys, for those of you watching, maybe new to Action PC Baseball, show you the baseball history collection. And exactly, I mean, the scope of this thing is ridiculous, and what you can do with it. It has things like, country of birth for players. You can do. You can just. There's so many different subsets to this thing, and so many things that you can create on your own. Teams like this, you want to create all-time greats franchise list in a game, and you don't have every season for this game. Get the baseball history collection. It's a great deal. It's updated every year, usually around June. It's great. I love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. What else do I got? You tell me, Cousin Ken. For this league, of course, the things that you're going to be mainly interested in, they've already played. So what do we have left? Well, we have left the 2000s. Versus the 1960s. So Randy Johnson and Jim Bunning. So we can play that, or we can advance the next day, or we can play something else. We can play some pocket pennant run. We can do whatever. We can even play Diamond Mind. I don't care. Having fun. I think folks probably want to see a bit more Action PC, maybe. I don't know. Let's jump out of here and see what I have installed. Or I'm sorry, created, not installed. So we got the State Collection here. State Collection is something that's its own product. It's standalone. It's not based on the History Collection. I got every season. I got every season. So what do you want? You want a game from 1919? Is that what you're saying? Or what are you saying there? You said, do I got 19 in here? I know it's a song from Steely Dan. Hey, 19. Although, yeah. So we'll see what Cousin Ken is talking about here with 19. Oh, I got 19 people. I'm sorry. I thought you meant 1919. Yes, we do. We have 19 people. I did say we would do some modern baseball. So we'll do modern baseball. We'll stay with this, and we'll play some modern baseball. It's a shaka. It's a shaka. All right. That will. Diamond Mind's a great game, though. Come on. It's a good one from when we're having baseball chinwags. All right, guys, we'll go ahead and play this one out then. This is going to be the 2000s versus the 1960s. And we're going to, wow, it doesn't really matter. I'm just going to put the 1960s on manage and hope for the best. All right, again, we're just playing everything at the same ballpark. So, stacked team. Let's look at this 1960s team, man. Willie Mays, Frank Robinson, Billy Williams, Orlando Cepeda, Willie McCovey, Carl Yastrzemski, Al Kaline, Ron Santo, Vada Pinson, Brooks Robinson, Roberto Clemente, Elston Howard, Bill Mazeroski, Jim Fregosi, Bill Freehan, Bobby Richardson, and Luis Aparicio. Just ridiculous. Pitchers, Juan Marichal, Bob Gibson, Sandy Koufax, Don Drysdale, Jim Bunning getting the nod today. You got Stottlemyre, Klein, Pizarro, Paranowski. Just, wow, just crazy. Looking at the 2000s, Barry Bonds, Jason Giambi, Luis Gonzalez, Andrew Jones, Vlad Guerrero, Troy Glaus, Alfonso Soriano. You got Brian Giles in here, Miguel Tejada, Scott Rowland, Todd Helton, new Hall of Famer. There we go. Jorge Posada, Derek Jeter, Jason Kendall. So let's do this, man. Let's have some fun. All right. And again, I'm just letting the computer do what it does. I didn't set up any computer managers. Let's do it. Modern baseball on my channel. What the hell? Yeah, I agree, John. It's not. Yeah, because I'm reading to you guys, basically. All right, guys, this looks like this should be a good ball game. We got Randy Johnson now in the nightcap versus Jim Bunning. So let's play ball.
Play ball.
He does it better than I do. All right, let's look at the starting defense for this 1960 squad. who absolutely whomped the 2000s in the first game. Billy Williams in left. In center, Veda Pinson. In right, the great one, Roberto Clemente. At first base, the baby bull, Orlando Cepeda. At second, Bill Mazeroski. At short, Jim Fregosi. At third, Ron Santo. Catching, Bill Freehand. And on the mound, Jim Bunning. Leading off here for the 2000s is Todd Helton. We are ready to get underway. Beautiful day here in Cleveland for some baseball. So let's do it. Let's do it. It's 55 degrees and a little light breeze going out to right center field. Bunning deals 3-1 pitch. Helton, fly ball. Billy Williams gloves it out, number one. All right, third baseman Scott Rowland. Rowland digs in. Bunning deals 1-1 pitch. Fly ball, center field. Veda Pinson had him played perfectly. Came in 2 steps and made the catch. So quickly 2 up, 2 down for baseball's all-time home run king is Barry Bonds. Barry Bonds just 0 for 1 in this season. Was absolutely shite in the first game. Bunning deals. Bonds swings. Fly ball to right. No trouble for Clemente. And they go 1, 2, 3. We go to the bottom of the first. And it's the 1960s coming to bat. But first, the starting defense for the 2000 squad. In left field, it's Barry Bonds. In center, Andruw Jones. In right, boy, that's not the right Brian Giles. So, boy, I guess we better fix that, huh? That is not the right Brian Giles, unless there's another Brian Giles I don't know about. Is there another Brian Giles I don't know about? Because this is 2000, so is this this would be a different Brian Giles. Let me look, just to make sure, because I don't know jack squat about too much about 2000s baseball. So now I have to look, in case I have to change pictures, but I think there is another one. Maybe there is. Yeah, there is. Never mind. I thought it was the original Brian Giles, but then he would be like way too old to play. So holy shit, man. Ricky Henderson, I still can't get over it, huh? Short life, man. 1958. So, geez, Ricky. What, 66 years old, man? And of course, Rocky Colavito the other day, huh? All right. Yep. Got it. All right. Sean said, no, I don't need a history. 2000 ain't history, man. I don't need any damned history lesson. I didn't realize. I don't pay attention to 2000s baseball. I didn't know. Brian Giles, man, former Pittsburgh Pirate. But yeah, I should have realized 2000s. You're right. Because Brian Giles would be like in his late 40s now, I guess. All right. Anyhow, bite me. Brian Giles in right. Okay, from first to third, Todd Helton. Alfonso Soriano, Miguel Tejada, Scott Rowland. Behind the plate is Jorge Posada. I mean, I know these guys' names, but I saw Brian Giles. I'm like, oh, Randy Johnson. We all know this guy. All right, here we go. Johnson will face leadoff hitter Veda Pinson. Johnson deals 1-2 pitch, and Randy Johnson does what he does best. Big swing and a miss. Strikeout, and here comes Jim Fregosi now. Fregosi has a home run in the young season so far. 2-2 pitch. Randy Johnson strikes out another one. And this one out of the zone. So Randy Johnson is going to try to establish the wide strike zone, as a good pitcher always does. Here's Orlando Cepeda now, the baby bull. Here's the pitch. 3-2 pitch. Little harmless grounder. Scott Rowland will fire on to Todd Helton for the 5-3 putout. We go to the top of the second. No score. And I hope we don't go through the same thing again. All right. And here is Brian Giles. So everybody stand up and give Brian Giles some love. Jim Bunning deals. And Jim Bunning says, I can strike out batters too. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. All right. Striking to the plate now is the catcher, Jorge Posada. This is his first plate appearance. Bunning deals, 0-2 pitch. Posada rocks this into center field, but Veda Pinson will track her down. So 2 up, 2 down now for Andruw Jones. Bunning deals, Jones swings, base hit, laced into left, past Fregosi, into left field. Billy Williams up with it, into Fregosi. So Andruw Jones aboard, and Jones, decent speed. Here comes Alfonso Soriano now. Bunning deals. High fly ball left field. Billy Williams backpedals and pulls it down for out number 3. So no runs, 1 hit, no errors. We go to the bottom of the second inning. No score here. And it'll be Billy Williams, Roberto Clemente, and Ron Santo. So Billy Williams just 1 for 2 in the season, so 500. Williams swings and a miss, and Randy Johnson racks up K number 3. Randy Johnson, 87 in the gun, so took something off that one. Brings up Roberto Clemente. 2-1 pitch. Clemente dribbles this toward first. Bounces past Johnson. Helton feeds Johnson coming over for the 3-1 putout. 2 away now for former Cubby slugger and hot corner man Ron Santo. Took too damn long to get him in the Hall of Fame. Here's the pitch to Santo. 2-0 pitch. Base hit into left. All right, so each team tied in hits now. And here's Detroit catcher, former Detroit catcher, Bill Freehan, part of that great 1968 Tigers team. Here's the pitch. Freehan swings, base hit, line drive, and to center field, left center field. And Santo's going to make third in a play. Runners at the corners, and here come the 1960s. They brought their bats last time. Here's Bill Mazeroski. The pitch to Maz, a 1 pitch, base hit, and drawing first blood is 1960s. This one going all the way to the wall. Freehan is going to make third. Freehan's going to come around to score. Mazeroski has himself a 2 RBI double, so 2-0 1960s in the bottom of the second. I don't think now this is going to be a very subtle game. Randy Johnson looking for a bird to kill at this point, and here's Jim Bunning now. Bottom of the order here for the 1960s. The pitch, and that's strikeout number 4 for Randy Johnson, but 2 runs, 3 hits, no errors. We'll go to the third. 2-0 1960s. And it'll be Miguel Tejada to lead things off. Randy Johnson in back of the top of the order. And Todd Helton. Again, no DH in this league. Tejada making his first plate appearance. So the 2000s manager shaking up things a little after they got whomped badly by the 1960s in the season opener. Bunning brings it home. And Bunning with a hit batsman. So Miguel Tejada gets plunked by Bunning, and here comes Randy Johnson. Bunt in order here, of course. And he does indeed bunt. Freehand onto Mazeroski, and Tejada moves to second. And here's Todd Helton back at the top of the order. Helton flied to deep left center last time up. Runner in scoring position, 1 down. Helton swings, scorches to center field, and lined right into the glove of Vada Pinson. Thought that was going to get past Pinson there for a second, or short hop. Velocity on that ball. Pinson staying with it, 2 down. And it brings up Scott Rowland. Scott Rowland, former Philly, fly to shallow center. Here's the pitch. Rowland swings, easy fly ball into shallow left. Billy Williams races over, reels it in. That does it. No runs, no hits, no errors. Bottom of the third, the 1960s lead. 2-0. Vada Pinson, Jim Fregosi, and Orlando Cepeda due to bat. All right, here we go. So Posada with the sign. Randy Johnson with 4 strikeouts thus far. Here's the pitch. Pinson swings. Line drive, base hit, right field. Giles up with it. Gets the ball in quickly. Here's Jim Fregosi. Pinson, good speed at first. Fregosi, 0-for-1. Struck out. Good crowd here today at Cleveland and indeed in the chat. Thank you guys very much. All right, the big lefty ready to fire it in. The throw down, and Pinson is going to make third on the throwing error by Jorge Posada. So Pinson picks up the stolen base and moves to third on the Jorge Posada error. So score that one E2. And the count is 0-1 on Jim Fregosi. Jim Fregosi draws the walk. Randy Johnson in a little bit of trouble here. Nobody out. Walks Fregosi on 4 pitches. Runners at the corners for a very, very dangerous, the baby bull Orlando Cepeda, 34 home runs in this file. Grounded to third back in the first. Cepeda can blow things open here. Here's the pitch. Throw down for Gossi is caught stealing. So Posada makes up for the error with the caught stealing. So erasing the runner. One down. Pinson, though, at third. Cepeda back in the box. The 0-1 pitch. Cepeda swings. Slow dribbler up the third base line. Scott Rowland will go to first for the sure out. Pinson will come in to score. 3-0, 1960s. And here, Billy Williams now. Billy Williams batting cleanup for the 1960s. Struck out back in the second. Here's the pitch. Billy Williams swinging on the 0-2 pitch. Bounding ball to second. And that will retire the side. But a run on one hit, no error. Or one error. And 3 down here in Cleveland. The 1960s leading the 2000s 3-0. Barry Bonds will lead things off. Then Brian Giles and Jorge Posada. Barry Bonds in the game flew out deep down the right field line. Jim Bunning sets and delivers. Bonds cuts in the 2-2 pitch. This one blooped towards second. Mazeroski making the play near the foul line. Calling off Cepeda on that play. So 1 down now for Brian Giles. Struck out in the second. Jim Bunning rears and fires. 0-2 pitch. This one grounded to first. The baby bull to Jim Bunning. 2 up and 2 down. And here's the catcher switch hitting Jorge Posada. Flight out to deep right last time. Bunning deals. 0-2 pitch. And Posada. Swing and a miss on the fastball. No runs, no hits, no errors. Bottom of the fourth. 3-0 in favor of the 1960s squad. So expected Randy Johnson to be a bit more dominant, but touched up for 2 in the second, 1 in the third. And just as a reminder for newbies to Action PC Baseball, one of the coolest things this game does, besides telling you what the batter did last time, is I have the big scoreboard thing turned off here because it gets distracting, but you can set that up. But this is neat. So if you hover over each inning, top and bottom, you get a nice scoring sort of scoring synopsis, if you will. I think this is one of the absolute coolest features in Action PC Baseball. You can also set it up too that if you mouse up here, it will give you the box score as you're playing. But I find that to be, it just drives me nuts. It's a cool feature, but this is absolutely superb. So if you didn't know about it, now you do. Of course, if you click on the field, you get the baseball cards. And you can look at defense. You can see where everybody is. And for close glance stuff, you want to position fielders, whatever. This is where the baseball cards come in really, really nicely. Okay. All right, here's Roberto Clemente. The great one is 0-1. Clemente, Santo, and Freehand do up the number 5, 6, 7 in the 1960s batting order. Clemente and the 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Randy Johnson strikes out the great one for number 5. Ron Santo, 1-for-1, singled last time between third and short. 2-1 pitch. Santo sends this to right field. It's got some distance, but not enough as my good friend Brian Giles pulls it down. We'll have to do a Brian Giles broadcast sometime. Bill Freehand, 1-for-1 in the game. Johnson deals, 1-2 pitch. Freehand sends this to center field, and that will retire the side. So 4 in the books here. Your score remains 3-0. Andrew Jones will lead it off here, followed by Soriano and Tejada. Andrew Jones in the game, singled to left center. Jim Bunning deals, 2-0 pitch. Fly ball, left field. Billy Williams reels it in for out number 1. Digging in now is Alfonso Soriano, the second baseman. Last time flew out to deep left. Jim Bunning lets it go. 0-2 pitch. This one bunted foul behind the plate. Count remains 0-2. And this one, soft little blooper toward third. Santo in foul territory makes the grab. So 2 away. Grabs some pine, Mr. Soriano, as Miguel Tejada steps in. Now the shortstop was plunked by Jim Bunning way back in the third. Haven't seen any retaliation. Here's the pitch. 3-0 pitch, and Bunning loses him. So Tejada will get first base as he ambles down there. Randy Johnson comes in. 2 down. Johnson needs a safe hit somewhere to help his own cause. Bunning deals. Randy Johnson, routine fly ball. Veda Pinson brings it down for out number 3. Bottom of the 5th. This game moving more quickly than the last. It is 3-0 in favor of the 1960s. So another thing too, guys, I should say, you don't have to go up here for settings. You can click down here, get settings. You can zoom to any part of the game that you want. So if you were doing, and I've never seen anybody, ID Jester did this years ago, a Bo Jackson replay. So you can keep zooming the game. Nice feature in Action PC Baseball is you can zoom to specific hitters. So pretty cool that you can do that. And then, of course, just all this kind of stuff. Switch to 3/4 screen. You can do that right from here now. So this is what the game looks like in 3/4 screen. A lot of people, MV being one of them, likes this view. He feels that it's a little bit easier to see more stats, things like that. So if you like it, go for it. I'm going to go back to full screen. I tend to prefer that. So all you have to do is right-click anywhere in the field, and you can, if you want to switch up and have player photos, you can do that, which I'm not going to. It's just not feeling it. I always like this. So explore that. Explore that. We've got a lot of choices here, okay? All right, I don't want to left click on there, though, or I'll bring up the baseball cards. All right, here's Bill Mazeroski. Mazeroski with an RBI double or 2 RBI double that scored Ron Santo and Bill Freehan last time. Johnson deals, count even at 2, and Bill Mazeroski becomes strikeout victim number 6. Cuts and misses. And brings up Jim Bunning. It was nothing for 1. Pitcher versus pitcher. Bunning struck out against the big unit last time. 1-2 pitch. Bunning senses up the middle, but great play by Soriano at second, covering a lot of ground there for out number 2. Center fielder Veda Pinson. So Jeff Hunter, he says, Merry Christmas. Beatles in chat. Yeah, Merry Christmas. How about it? Oh, yeah, 1960s, Clinton Parks. Shit, yeah. If you're talking about that history lesson, yeah. I've said many times, the 1960s, really, really weak decade for me. Really weak decade. I know most of the great players. I can, name most of the World Series and stuff, but for some reason, the 1960s was it's not a decade I've studied a lot. I got to get better with that. And you're the man to do it, Clinton. You are the man to do it. All right, here's Veda Pinson now. Bats with 2 down. 1-1 pitch. Pinson, fly ball out to center field, out to left field, and that does it. Pardon me. As Barry Bonds brings it down, we go to the top of the 6th inning, and it will be the top of the order: Todd Helton, Scott Rowland, and Barry Bonds. So Jim Bunning right now, the line for him through 5, 2 strikeouts and a walk. Jim Bunning toes the rubber, and Helton, this one popped back of the plate, and making the catch is Bill Freehan. So 1 up, 1 down now for Scott Rowland. Scott Rowland was flown out twice. Bunning deals, 1-2 pitch. Fly ball to center. Pinson coming in, making the basket catch. 2 away. It was weak in the 60s. Ray Oyler's hitting. Damn right. So, yeah, Clinton talking about the 1960s, it being a transition time. I mean, and it really, really was. So D. Scott Howard adding in, good to see us, D. Scott. He says the second half of the 60s was dead ball era too. Yeah, I mean, look at Bob Gibson's ERA 1968. Look at Denny McClain's 31 wins that year. Crazy. You saw it. You still. I think the 60s, they're definitely transitioning. I think the 70s. This is something I have to agree with Steve T. I think the 70s was a great, great decade for baseball. But, again, I think the 1960s, as I'm learning more, I'm gaining more of an appreciation for the 60s, because I made the error of equating them as kind of like the Now, the 1950s baseball was kind of like, it was baseball. It was good baseball, but early 60s, I think 60, 61, you had to carry over with that, maybe into 62. But then you started seeing like dominance from Sandy Koufax, and you had Drysdale coming in, and folks like that. And you did see dead ball era too, and you saw the groundwork of some of the great 70s teams, of course, being formulated in the 1960s. I'm thinking, of course, of the Pittsburgh Pirates, the New York Mets, and just a short span from 1962 being, thanks to the 2024 White Sox, now not the worst team in modern baseball history, but certainly one of the worst, to winning it all, the Miracle Mets in 1969. Of course, you had that expansion, all kinds of cool things in that, and the Beatles were still 1960s, so that's important because they played in a lot of those ballparks. All right, heard George Harrison was a hell of a third baseman, by the way. All right, here's Barry Bonds now, bats with 2 away, 3-1 pitch to Bonds. Bonds draws the walk, so Jim Bunning loses him, and it brings up Brian Giles. Giles in the game has struck out, grounded to first. Bonds, superb speed at first. Bunning deals 1-2 pitch, fly ball, and it's the Vada Pinson show out there in center field. Bottom of the 6th we go. 3-0. 1960s lead this one. Jim Fregosi, Orlando Cepeda, Billy Williams due up. Fregosi in the game walked his last time. Randy Johnson plunks him 91 miles an hour. That's going to hurt because something from 91 miles an hour from the big unit looks like it's going to be at 98 miles an hour. And Jim Fregosi kind of clutching the arm a little bit there. So Fregosi aboard now. And it brings up Orlando Cepeda, Baby Bull, grounded to third, back in the third, scoring Vada Pinson, making it 2-0 at the time, 1960s. Clinton Parks says the only reason Sandy Koufax was able to become who he was, thanks to Johnny Padres. Johnny Padres. We'll have to do a game with Johnny Padres. We've got to do a game with some of the very good players and the good coaches and everything like that. Padres, good pitcher. Here's the pitch to Cepeda, 0-1. The Baby Bull swings, grounder to Scott Rowland. Rowland is going to go to this. Well, we're just going to call that one. They pick up the double play, so 5-4-3 double play. So 2 down, bases empty for the great Billy Williams. I wanted to make a league at one time of great baseball players that were never in the World Series, and this gentleman would be one of them. Billy Williams fouls it back behind the plate, and Jorge Posada makes the catch to end the inning. We go to the top of the 7th. Jorge Posada will lead it off. Thus far, Jim Bunning is pitching a one-hitter. Posada struck out his last time up. Posada struck out this time up. This one catching the inside corner. Jim Bunning notches K number 3 in his belt, and it brings up Andrew Jones. Andrew Jones fly to deep left. Here it comes. And look at Jim Bunning now. 2 strikeouts in a row. Swing and a miss by Andrew Jones, and it brings up Alfonso Soriano. Pop to third. Fly to left in this game. Bunning deals 1-0 pitch. Grounder to Ron Santo. Sets and fires and gets him. 7th inning stretch time. 3-0 in favor of the 1960s. Welcome back, D. Scott Howard. We just highlighted this. Claude Osteen, he says, was a very underrated pitcher in the 1960s. Key to the Dodgers' success. Indeed, he was. Not Hall of Fame material, but good, solid pitcher. Although I had him on one of my Shanks League teams, and Didn't do as well as I had hoped, but again, not a fair measurement in that league, but definitely Claude Osteen, an important part of those Dodgers teams of the 1960s. Roberto Clemente, 0-for-2, a signing of the great Branch Rickey when Branch Rickey took over as GM of the Pittsburgh Pirates. Struck out his last time up. Randy Johnson ready to deal. 2-2 pitch. Clemente just able to get a little nubber ball up there to Todd Helton and take it to the bag himself. He doffs his cap, the great one, and says, "Lo siento." All right, here's Ron Santo, 1-for-2. Singled fly to right. 3-1 pitch. Santo lays off. Randy Johnson wanting that fastball, but doesn't get the call. Second walk issued by Randy Johnson, and brings up Bill Freehan. Freehan with a single, and he is flown out. Santo at first, not really a threat to steal. Here's the pitch. Freehan swings. Fly ball deep to left. This one off the wall. Caraming. Santo's going to come around, and we're starting to have a repeat of game one between these two teams. The 1960s picking up its fourth run in the bottom of the seventh. And it looks like we have Justin Duchère coming in, and that will be all. Bill Freehan picks up the double. So Randy Johnson's day is done. Duchère pitched an inning in this league thus far, giving up a hit and a strikeout. Finished his warm-up pitches, 1 out. Bill Freehan in scoring position at second for Mazeroski with that RBI, 2 RBI double in the second, struck out in the fifth. Former Bucco second baseman in the box, hero of the 1960 World Series. Justin Duchère ready to work. Here's the pitch, 2-1 pitch, up the middle. Soriano will fire onto Helton for the 4-3 putout, and on the play, Bill Freehan will make it to the hot corner. So 90 feet away, potential fifth run for the 1960s decade. Jim Bunning to bat. Let's see. Jim Bunning will hit for himself. Long fly ball to center field. But that's all it was a big loud out. We go to the top of the 8th inning. And it is 4-0. This one is all but over. But we will see Miguel Tejada. Not sure whether Duchère is actually going to get to a chance to hit for himself. And then back at the top of the order, and Todd Helton. So Jim Bunning, again, a one-hit shutout right now, doing it on 4 strikeouts, and has given up 2 walks. 1960s team, 4 runs. They've only stranded 2, so very efficient baseball. All right, they're hoping now with Randy Johnson out of the game to blow it open. Jim Bunning deals 0-2 pitch. Little nubber slap back to the mound. Bunning to Cepeda. 1 up, 1 down now. And let's see if Duchère gets to hit. He will not. So Jason Giambi will come in as a pinch hitter. Giambi from the left. Giambi grounds this one to second. Mazeroski with a great diving play, able to shovel it over to Orlando Cepeda. So first great play of the season for Maz. 2 down for Todd Helton. Todd Helton popped to the catcher last time. Bunning deals. Helton swings. Grounded back to the bump. Bunning off the bump onto Cepeda. That does it. We go to the bottom of the 8th inning. It is 4-0. Beta Pinson, Jim Fregosi, Orlando Cepeda were at the top of the order again for the 1960 squad. And coming on to pitch now is going to be Keith Foulke. No record thus far this season. Foulke deals. Pinson, whoa, look at that, huh? So this one, a changeup. Nice pitch there by Keith Foulke for out number 1. Jim Fregosi, 0-for-1. Here's the pitch. Look at this. Good morning, good afternoon. Can he get the trifecta here against the Baby Bull? Cepeda in the game, 0-for-3. Dangerous hitter here. 2-2 pitch, and he does. Keith Foulke gets good morning, good afternoon, good night, strikes out the side. And we go to the top of the 9th inning. Last chance for the 2000s. Scott Rowland, Barry Bonds, and Brian Giles. It's going to be fun when we get to see Barry play opposite his father. We'll see that later in the season. Scott Rowland has flown out 3 times. Bunning deals. Rowland, grounder, Room service bounce taken by Fregosi onto the baby bowl. 1 up and 1 down. Jim Bunning looking to take this complete game 1-hitter. Barry Bonds walked his last time up, so 2 for 3. 1-2 pitch. Barry Bonds cuts and misses. No, this one's just below the belt. Tried to hold up a swing. So 2 away, and it's up to Brian Giles. So maybe he's looking back at me up the broadcast booth and saying, you had the wrong Brian Giles. Let's see if he puts some good wood on this one. Too high. Roberto Clemente makes the catch for the final out. Game recap here. For the 1960s, who have now taken 2 games in this series. 4 runs, 5 hits, no errors. The 2000s, no runs, 1 hit, 1 error. Randy Johnson takes the loss. Jim Bunning with a 1 hit complete game shutout. So definitely a nice defensive game here. Again, no triples. Damn it. Looking at pitching here, we know what Bunning did, but he struck out 5 in that effort. Randy Johnson with the loss did strike out 6, walk 2, but gave up 4 earned runs. So rough day for the big unit. He starts the season with a 5.68 earned run average. Duchère came in, worked 2/3 of an inning. And then Folk came in and got those 3 strikeouts. Bam, 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 bam. Your player of the game, of course, is going to be Jim Bunning. But looking at the highlights for the 1960s offensively, Ron Santo went 1 for 2, and Bill Freehan 2 for 3 with a double. And indeed, there's your MVP, Jim Bunning. And that takes care of this day. And again, early going here. And we will just see what the matchups look like for the next day. We're not gonna do another game. So here's what we have coming up, though. 19th century against the 1900s. This could be Larry Corcoran versus Christy Mathewson. For the teams that we just saw here, the 2000s versus the 1960s, Roy Halladay versus Juan Marichal. The 1950s versus the 1970s, Warren Spahn versus Catfish Hunter. For the 1920s versus the 1910s, Wilbur Cooper versus Grover Cleveland Alexander. The 1990s versus the 1980s, Tom Glavine versus Frank Tanana. And then finally, 1940s versus 1930s, Claude Passot against Lefty Grove. So these are all amazing matchups, which we're not going to play tonight. Yeah, that was a quick game, and it's a quick Beatles stream. It's 2 hours in. So, guys, wow, a lot of fun. We had a great crowd. We peaked out at the 20-something tonight, and for a tiny channel like this, it really, really means a lot. We have this channel is all about community. I'm not about building numbers. So the more people join, I'm never going to monetize this channel, but the more people join, the stronger this community comes through its diversity and everybody bringing a different era of what they love most about baseball. We got guys in here that are hardcore 1980s. We got we got guys like Cousin Ken Castro, who's gonna hit you hard with all kinds of baseball facts from everywhere else. But his forte, I think, 19th century and dead ball. Just fantastic community. So anybody new to it, hope that you've found a home, not only on this channel with these folks here, but the YouTube sports gaming community filled with great guys like Clee Baseball Fan 879, great content creator, Dwayne Martz, YouTube Sports Network, RJL Network, David Baseball Demos, Al Red Sox fan, who we don't see too much come over here, but when he does, it's always a treat. ID Jester, still playing some baseball here and there, which is nice to see. So yeah, going to be single digits up there in Maine. Yeah, stay warm. It's 21 right now. It's going to get down in the teens here. It sucks. All right, guys. You know who you are. I want to thank you very much for hanging out for our doubleheader. A little bit more Action PC 2025. Maybe what I'll do tomorrow night is put in the comments and see if anybody's paying attention and let you guys pick the game we play tomorrow night. So out of a possible 5, whether it's going to be Action PC, Out of the Park, Baseball for Windows, or pocket pennant run baseball. So those will be our choices, and then we'll do whatever. So if we do pocket pennant run, it's going to be 1908. If we do this, it'll be the Decades League. Out of the Park baseball will be 1893. Baseball for Windows will be 1911. So those are kind of your choices. All right, guys, do stay warm, and we'll see you again, hopefully, tomorrow night. Until then, be good to each other. Hanukkah, Christmas falling on the same day this year, the first day of Hanukkah and Christmas. So if you're gearing up for the holidays, awesome. Philip Reynolds, again, man, I hope you will get to see your daughter, Sarah. I'm spending the holiday by myself this year. I'd love to do some baseball Christmas night, but probably just do it offline. So for those of you, and this, I'm not saying this, but there are those of us like Philip and myself who aren't spending it with anybody. So really enjoy the blessings that you have. And we'll talk before Christmas, obviously. But I just wanted to give a little extra positivity out there for Philip. Just believe, man, it's the season of miracles. I mean, Hanukkah is the story of a miracle. And of course, from a Christian perspective, Christmas commemorates the second greatest miracle of all, the greatest being, of course, Easter. But take care of each other, guys. All right. And be good. And we'll meet again. Good night.